Alright, I am Tahuti Kepura Iteru. Now this video right here, I wanted to decode the anime Dragon Ball Super, right? Now as a disclaimer, I want to say that I don't want people to look at this video and be like, okay, oh, Tahuti watches animes, maybe he can decode this anime. No, we're not going to be decoding other animes, you see what I'm saying? The only reason I'm decoding this one is because, you see what I'm saying, of the deep occult elements, right? The deep occult elements, so again, let's deal with this right here. So again, you already know what it is right here, right? So let's deal with this. So now so again, most people you may not watch you may not watch animes, right? You may not be familiar with Dragon Ball Super. You may not be familiar with this. So now the main episodes, the occult episodes, right, are episode 64. Let me see, 64, 65, 66, and 67, right? Those are the occult episodes right there. So again, now Dragon Ball Z, now it's known for its metaphysics, but for them to go this far into the occult, I was actually surprised, so compelled that I had to make this video right here. So let's get straight into this. So now, starting off now with episode 64. So now you have this character now, Goku Black, right? Now this character Goku Black now is fighting Vegeta, right? Right, he's fighting Vegeta, and now he has seen a tremendous growth in Vegeta's power, and he acknowledged that this this growth was due to Vegeta's anger. So Vegeta's anger made him stronger. Then Goku Black now. So again, Goku Black is who's the villain of this specific arc now, in the saga, this specific arc, right? He says now he went into his own anger, and he was angry at the humans. He was angry with the humans and angry with the other gods, right? And this anger, and because of this anger now, he was able to produce. Let me see. So again, he produced this new weapon. And his power went to new heights, right? So it shows how, what Bobby Hemmett used to go into, dealing with the theology of hate and anger, right? Again, so yeah, so anger is a source of power, right? And this new weapon that he had was a scythe, right? Was this type of scythe. Now, when he summoned the scythe now, he was amazed at the depths of his power, right? And even he couldn't comprehend the limits of his power, right? Then he slashed the scythe, right? And there was a rip in time. So based on this scythe now, if you want to decode this scythe, the scythe represents the end times, right? Or the beginning of the end. As the scythe cuts off the head, right? It cuts off the head. And the cutting of the head, now, so the cutting of the head, which represents death, but it doesn't just represent death, it always represents the disembodiment, right, from the physical. So it's talking about the removal, right, from the physical, right, detachment from the physical is cutting off the head, the disembodiment, so it's removing the detachment, but we're talking about the detachment from the physical, right, and the rip in time shows an unknown dimension. So dealing with the scythe now, what it represents, him having the scythe represents the end times. This whole end times that we're dealing with, this end times is a removal of the physical, transitioning into an unknown dimension. That's the end times right there, right? And that's what they're subtly encoding, right? So Goku Black now, with the scythe, shows that he's the one that will bring about these end times, right? He's the one that will bring about it. So essentially in this position right here, based on you looking at him in that position, it shows like he's like a type of antichrist, right? But as I've mentioned in another video, the antichrist is the Christ. What I mean is that the attributes of the antichrist, that with all the destruction, all this evil, that's actually the true attributes of the real Christ. You see what I'm saying? That's actually the true attributes of the real Christ, who will come forth, who will come to destroy, right, and bring forth the kingdom of heaven. You see what I'm saying? So that's actually the true attributes of the real Christ right now, right? Now, if we fast forward to episode 65 now, you have Goku Black, right? And again, you have this character known as Zamasu, right? Or Zamas. Now, Zamasu now, he is a god in the in the saga. He is a god, right? And then he fused now with Goku Black. And to fill you in, for those people who are not familiar, basically Goku Black is Zamasu, right? But he stole, basically some kind of time loop or whatever, stole Goku's body. So he is Zamasu inside Goku's body. Basically stole Goku's body. So now they fuse now. And then when they fuse now, right, he's talking about how he wants to wipe out humans. He wants to create this zero humanity plan where he would create a new world for gods by gods, right? You see what I'm saying? So again, he wants to bring forth a new world of gods and end the world of humans, you see. So in this case, it is destroying the old and bringing forth the new. So again, it shows how destruction is good, but we're going to go deeper into this. Destruction is good. That's the key to this. Now, when he fused now, if you notice now, when he fused, he had these halos right here. These halos, he had the halo around him, right? And that halo is the Christ. You see, that halo is the Christ, showing how this destruction is good. The destruction that he's doing is good. And what it represents right there is the Christ energy to destroy this world and bring forth the kingdom of heaven, right? So now Goku and Vegeta now began fighting Zamasu. They began fighting Zamasu, but he was basically undefeatable. They couldn't defeat him, right? And his power was so great now. His power was essentially limitless. He was undefeatable. So now, based on the metaphysics of Goku Black and Zamasu now, Goku Black and Zamasu fuse represents the melanin and the soul. That's what it represents right there. Melanin and the soul, right? And the melanin kept growing in power. It just kept growing in power. It was undefeatable, right? It kept growing in power. The monster. You see what I'm saying? And again, we're going to go deeper into that and later on in this video, dealing with this monster right here. So it kept growing in power. Now, again, it shows how the immortal soul, Zamasu now, again, was undefeatable. So Zamasu in this state now represents melanin, the true power of melanin, which is undefeatable. You see what I'm saying? It's undefeatable. Right. Now, one of Zamasu's attacks now was these blades of judgment. He's doing these blades of judgment. You see what I'm saying? Again, and that goes into what I've said in my other videos, that we are the ones that will bring judgment. It's no spook God. We are the ones that will bring this judgment right here. You see what I'm saying? Now, another one of Zamasu's attacks was when he summoned this bird, right? And it was this bird with this circle around it. You see what I'm saying? This circle around it, and it had this jewel inside. Now, this bird represents a type of magical entity right now, a type of entity, right? And the circle, which I've said it was Spain in my last video now, the circle is that magic circle. You see what I'm saying? That magic circle, right? And that's how you bind and trap these entities, right? That magic circle right now, right? And the jewel now, in one instance, could represent the pineal gland. The jewel inside the bird could represent the pineal gland. Or in another instance, it could be the Philosopher's Stone. Even though the Philosopher's Stone isn't necessarily a stone, but it could be the Philosopher's Stone. But again, it's the jewel inside right there. You see what I'm saying? So again, what it represents right there, it shows how this is how you bring about this world. This was how you bring about the end, and the end is through magic. It's through the occult. This is how the end will come. You see what I'm saying? So now, if we fast forward now to episode 66 now, this is where they switch it up. Now, this is where they switch it up right here. Now, Goku attacks Zamasu, right? And then what happened was, one side of his body became purple. One side of his body was purple, and the other side was green, right? And then the halo disappeared. So what they're showing here is that we're talking about a completely different entity. We're not talking about melanin and the soul anymore. We're talking about a different entity right here. Now, and again, this purple now goes back to one of my other videos, right? One of my later day videos, or earlier videos, I should say, dealing with these purple octopuses right here. This is what it goes back to. Now, looking back now, right, I would say that these purple octopuses is more of an archetype dealing with either the archons or the demiurge. That's what I'm thinking now. Based on the way they do it, it's dealing with, it's a more of an archetype. You know what I'm saying? But again, when I was doing research into this, there's no sources, there's no information, there's nothing on it. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, it's being encoded into this anime right here. You see what I'm saying? They're encoding this stuff, but again, we're gonna go into that, right? You see what I'm saying? So again, so by him making him purple now he can be defeated. You see what I'm saying? Now he can be defeated right here. You see what I'm saying? Well, when he was green and he had the halo, when he was the Christ, he was undefeatable. Now when they made him purple, now he can be defeated. You see what I'm saying? So again, they're showing, they're representing another entity right here. What they're talking about is another entity. You see what I'm saying? Now, the way Zamasu was defeated was Trunks' sword became endowed with all the energy of the people, which represents concentrated thought. You see what I'm saying? That also goes back into also dealing with the spirit bomb as well. That's what the spirit bomb is. It's concentrated thought. The spirit bomb. You see what I'm saying? And the sword represents willpower. So whenever you see these animes and they have this sword, then the sword represents the will. You see what I'm saying? So that's why when Trunks lost his will, the sword was broken. You see, when he lost his will and he couldn't fight no more, the sword was broken. And then now when the sword was, you know what I'm saying, it was endowed with the energy of the people and it became a full sword again, then you see the will. You see what I'm saying? He rose up, and now the will and his morale rose up. So again, the sword represents will. So on this aspect right here, through the will of concentrated thought is how you defeat the archons and the demiurge. That's how you defeat him. You see what I'm saying? That's how you defeat this archon and the demiurge right here. You see what I'm saying? And by killing him now, what they were showing you, they weren't defeating Zamasu, they weren't defeating Melanin and the soul, they were defeating the demiurge. That's why when they defeat him now, they split him in two. You see what I'm saying? They split him in two, making a distinction between the true Christ energy and destroying the demiurge. So now this is what I'm going to go back to now. So now there was another scene or another part in that episode, right? What happened was that Trunks slashed Zamasu, right, when he was in this purple state, and slashed him and drew an X on him, right? And that same X now, if you watch that video I did dealing with this purple octopus, it's that same X that he has on his arm. So what I'm trying to show you is that these Japanese occultists, they know something we don't know. You see what I'm saying? There's no coincidence that it's that same X. There's no coincidence that they made him purple now. And it's that same X on the purple octopus that I was dealing with on that other video. So I'm saying, so obviously these Japanese occultists know something we don't know. You see what I'm saying? There's a deep occult circle in Japan where they even have knowledge that even the Europeans and knowledge in America that they don't even have dealing with their moves and their occultism. So these Japanese occultists, they know something we don't know. You see what I'm saying? So obviously there's no coincidence right there. So you see what I'm saying? But also based on that right there, what it also shows is that if concentrated thought and will can kill the archons and the demiurge, it shows how an unwilled concentrated thought, right? So praying, things of that nature, praying to God outside of yourself, that actually empowers the demiurge. You see what I'm saying? And it gives the demiurge power to keep you locked down. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So again, keep you locked down. So now, right, in episode 67 now, it shows again that they never actually defeated Zamasu. Now Zamasu became the universe. He became the universe and justice and order itself. You see what I'm saying? So he was trying to become the natural order of the universe. But then why didn't he do this before? But the only time he did this now was when he became purple. Then they split him in two. That's when they did it. So what's trying to show how through concentrated thought they defeated the archons and then the demiurge, then the true God, the rightful God, the soul, then became the order of the universe. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's quite deep. What they did right now, it's quite deep, right? You see what I'm saying? So now, when he was in this form now, it became the whole world now. It looked as if he was evil. He was destroying people. He's destroying houses, basically destroying the world, right? And it looked like what he was doing was actually evil. But he was actually creating a better world, right? And if you notice now, there was no sun in the sky. Therefore there's no time, because like as I mentioned in my last video, the sun governs time on this planet. You see what I'm saying? So there's no time, there's no death, there's no physical aging. You see what I'm saying? He was creating a new world right there, right? Then then what Goku did now, okay, again, he was undefeatable. Even in this one, they couldn't defeat him. So now Goku had to call down this Supreme God, whose name was, I think his name was Onisama, or Zen-sama, right now. And he told him to erase Zamasu, right? So now they got, so what they did now, they escaped now. So they let him erase Zamasu and defeat Zamasu, this Supreme God. And they escaped, right? But now, and then what they did now is Goku then came back, right? So now, when Goku came back now, all you saw was this type of crystalline type of paradise-like environment. You saw this crystalline paradise environment. So by him erasing Zamasu, what he essentially was doing was wiping away the dust, wiping away the debris to reveal this true paradise. So it shows how Zamasu was the destructive force, and Onisama was the creative force that comes forth after the destructive force to bring forth the true kingdom of heaven. You see what I'm saying? To bring the true kingdom of heaven, and what was left over. There's no coincidence. Again, that's not a mistake. For them to come back now, you saw what was left there. They're trying to show you what he was doing, what he was actually doing. Again, that's what I'm saying. He was trying to create, and what you saw was left over was this crystalline world that was left over. So what they're trying to show you is that's the paradise. That's what he was trying to do. That's what he was trying to create. The destruction is good, right? The destruction is good because after the destruction brings forth this paradise, this ultimate paradise. You see what I'm saying? This crystalline world, this crystalline paradise, and then that same paradise was the same heavenly abode that Onisama or Zen-sama himself was living in. That's what he was living in. So that's what he was trying to create right there. This eternal bliss right there. You see what I'm saying? That's what he was trying to create. Right? So what it's showing you essentially, destruction is good. So this whole end of the world, all this destruction, that's actually good. Right? And in this instance right here, Zamasu, you are Zamasu. Right? And it's shown how you must use your own swords of judgment right here, right? And summon your own magical entities to bring about the end of this world, which is the Christ energy. That's the Christ. You see what I'm saying? The destruction of this world. So Zamasu represents the destructive force, right? That the Christ energy is supposed to destroy this human world and bring forth the true kingdom of heaven. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a quick breakdown right here. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of deep occultism right there. And also I mentioned how I wanted to go back to this monster concept. Now, in the ending song, right? The ending song of that video, of the episode right here, it talks about this 4,000-year-old monster. Right? It talks about this 4,000-year-old monster, but by 4,000, they don't actually mean 4,000. What they mean is 400. This 400-year-old monster, and this 400-year-old monster is the black man in America. That's the 400-year-old monster, right? So again, this goes back to something that Bobby was talking about, how slavery, it was this transmutation process. You see what I'm saying? Slavery was this type of alchemical transmutation process. And through slavery, through all this stress and through all the stress of slavery and racism, it's produced this new being, this sublime being, this philosopher's stone, this melanin being right here. That's what it's produced. That's the 400-year-old monster. You see what I'm saying? But not a monster in the sense that it's scary and this evil monster, but this new sublime creature right here. So that's what it is. So again, this Zamasu, this Goku Black, that is us. That's us right here. So again, it's deep. I'm actually surprised they went this deep. You see what I'm saying? And other elements dealing with, also other elements, just before we close out right here, other elements, you saw the other characters, Wiz and Biru-sama. Again, that just represents right there Sekhmet and Ptah. You see, that's just Sekhmet and Ptah. But even though Sekhmet is supposed to be the female and Ptah is the male, they're making both male to switch it up. But basically, that's Sekhmet and that's Ptah right there. You see what I'm saying? He's got the staff, he's got all that. So again, that's what that is right there. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's our stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? It's our stuff. But again, it's these Japanese occultists. You see what I'm saying? They really outdid themselves with this whole ending to this Dragon Ball Super right here. They really outdid themselves right here. You see what I'm saying? So I had to deal with this Dragon Ball Super right here. So again, I know what I'm saying. So again, some people you may not watch these Dragon Ball Z Super, but I would recommend watching those episodes. Let me see which ones it was now. 64, 65, 66, and 67. Even if you don't really get the story, just look at what they're doing, look at what they're encoding. If you've been following the videos that I've been releasing now, you'll be able to catch it, and it's deep. It's deep. They're literally showing you exactly what's taking place. They're showing you the transmutation. They're showing you everything right there. Again, it was deep. Alright, so again, just a quick video right here. So alright, black people, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you took some good information from this. Alright, black people, thanks for watching. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thanks for watching.